Hello again. You know the drill by now. This is my reading from The Monsters Who Became My Fell For. We're on chapter 1 now. I'm going to knock this out in two parts. Still going with the Tony no glasses and his get up, and David's parts all, glasses and, well, a bit of a play thing going on. My voice is still that horrible nasy fucking pilot thing. I've been trying to get different kind of versions, but I guess I'll get better as it goes along. Maybe I'll end up deleting all these, when it gets better, or maybe it'll never get better. Maybe I'll just kill myself. Just kidding. Anyway, chapter 1. So that's AKA May. Let's do this thing. In years to come, the high point of everything will be the desperate recollection of my life here. It'll be the memory of Maya straddling me, her hands pushing down on my chest, and her young body grinding around on top of me. It'll be the image of her watching me with those wide, expressive green eyes, breathing my name through rich, wet lips, her face taut and those Slavic cheekbones and that fire of hair and everything I recognise as beautiful and having loved completely. But these days I'm used to her, and our days are sullen. These days, love isn't enough. My name's Tony Vincent. This is Copenhagen. I'm 21. The blunt pain of the spring from our vicious old bed sticks into my spine as I shift to crane my neck round to the alarm clock. 23:57. Now, we've already fucked twice, and although I've got work at 6, and despite the trouble I'm having keeping it up, Maya wants more. The thing is, she's too wet for the way she's fucking me, and I keep sliding out. Without the friction, I really can't feel a thing. Yet this doesn't seem to be bothering her. She's lost in her own world, only interested in her own pleasure, which is, if I'm going to be honest, not an isolated incident. But, despite this, with this, just when I feel myself rising up to meet her, my body numbs and my loins tense. The phone rings. Maya leaps off me, with far more fervent expectation than she ever gave our over-familiar stripping, and hops through the doorway into the kitchen, pulling on underwear to cover her sudden modesty. The ringing stops and I hear her beam, "Hi, sir," down the line at some inconsiderate fuck. After a few minutes of a conversation I lack the energy or inclination to struggle translating, she skips back into the bedroom, glowing and energised, and without a word sits back down on top of me and grabs hold of my cock. "Who was that?" I ask, shifting uncomfortably beneath her. "Oh, that was Leah," she replies, pulling her panties aside and trying to force what's left of my erection back inside herself. "She wondered where we were." "Oh," I say with a breath as I enter her, not wanting to fall back into the evening's argument. It's like the only love we make is make-up love. I sit up slowly, kissing her as I lift her body up, young and firm and keen. This vision should get my blood racing and set my nerves on edge, but I just feel like an unseen spirit passing through the living and wonder if I'm turning queer or maybe it's brain cancer. I lower Maya down on the bed so I'm on top, and normally I can do this and stay inside her, but now I just slip out uselessly. She makes a frustrated sound and, opening her eyes, looks up at me petulantly. I mumble some kind of apology and start wiping her juices off me as best I can, but I'm practically limp, so I sigh and say to her, "Look, you could use your mouth a bit. I reckon that'll help." "Tony," she drawls, "you've been inside me." By now I don't even care. I feel like I could just roll over and pass out. "Let's just sleep," I suggest. "It's not like it's working, is it?" "No," she replies quickly, half whining then. "No to sleeping, I mean. Go wash it." This wanton, insatiable lust she works up during late shifts at the grill bar is no substitute for the passion lost from her eyes. I'm not even sure there's even love in them anymore, almost as if there's something we might agree on after all. There is no stirring of emotions, just the guilt that comes from my purely physical reaction. Nothing moves me here, There was just a fondness and protective instinct. I seemed to be just going through the motions, and I'm thinking, what happened to the joy of this? I nod agreement and jump off the bed, clumsily trying to conceal my plump nakedness. The hearty Viking meals of a bleak Scandinavian winter have robbed me of any knotted tone I built up on the farm last summer. Shuffling over the floorboards to our poky little kitchen, I click on the light and stand against the sink. The glow of the city pulses through my reflection in the window, and my hair flies wild, my eyes hung and feverish. I don't look Danish with my dark, scraggy hair, and there's no firmness to my large, round English face. I find myself staring up at the moon with my dark, foreign eyes, as if to divine some kind of epiphany, but nothing's up in the twilight, just pollution and dead stars. I feel empty. I feel lost. And the only thing I recognise in the face of the man looking back at me is my mother. I think back to doing lines with Queen at maximum volume, and there's a stab of sorrow at the realisation that times like that will be the closest I'll ever get to a reunion or a chance to tell Mum I miss her. A sharp pain behind my right ear fires round to my temple. Wincing, cursing, I raise a palm to force the old days away. I spy a forgotten half-glass of vile wine on the worktop and raise it at the moon. Hey, Mum, look at me now. And I down it, wincing and cursing. I set the glass back down next to my brother's letter. We were young soldiers expecting conflict, yet finding love, but prepared for neither. Denmark was an easy trench to dig, you fucking idiot, I curse under my breath. It's like he's already writing his own obituary. Fuck, I miss him. I turn on the tap, then on tiptoes at the sink work a lava of dishwashing liquid over my cock, balls and pubic hair, water streaming over a few days' worth of dirty dishes and splashing onto the floor. Idly masturbating, I'm not even really thinking about Maya waiting for me, wet and naked, nor am I even really thinking about how something so amazing became such a fucking chore, by which I'm not sure if I mean this session or the whole damn relationship. No, what I'm really thinking about, who I'm really thinking about is just another girl who laughs when I mispronounce her name. The thing was, it felt like Maya was doing a level best last night to avoid any interaction at all with me. So while she flitted about the bar, dancing, flirting, catching up with her friends, I found other people to talk to. And a girl named Lerka became my rebound infatuation. My projected fantasy. Having the mere thought of a fresh, impossible ride succeed, where their own body had failed, would be an insult to anyone. I realise that, but then a deceptive hard-on is still a fucking hard-on, and back in the bedroom, it meets no opposition. That being said, one thing I've never found to complement the movement of soft, wet lips around the head of my cock is the facial expression of a toddler being tortured with a sprig of undercooked broccoli. Groaning like it's all too much, I turn Maya over, pulling her ass towards me and entering her without much gentle consideration. With one foot left on the floor, I lift my other leg up onto the bed and get as deep as I can, pushing down on her hips to secure her when she pulls away, gasping and digging in her nails. I don't wait for her moans to lengthen, and I don't care when they do. When my first true perfect love begins coming during the last few frenzied lengths I fuck into her, the sad truth is that it was just a stroke of luck. Pulling myself out of Maya, any lust or concern leaves my body, and a wave of self-loathing and disgust envelops me. The light slap I give her ass feels more like waving a silent ejaculation farewell than applauding a naughty girl, but then a deceptive spank is still a fucking spank. I catch my breath. Fuck it. I'll call in work tomorrow. Oh, fucked it. I catch my breath. Fuck it. I'll call in sick tomorrow, I hear myself say. Let's go to that party. David. You raise Kirsten's letter to your nose and breathe in deeply, hoping to catch a whiff of her, that scent of perfume and sweat that would linger in the bed after she rose to leave you and your post-coital demands for reason and romance. But nothing. Just that cheap paper smell, clean and bland like a bank statement or the twisted rhetoric of credit card blackmail. Your name is David Backman and this is Portsmouth. You're 23 years old. 3 sides of A4, sentences tidy like they'd been rewritten until not a sentiment less or more than just right. Hi, Sul. Sul, she said. Sul. You resist the urge to gorge yourself, reading carefully despite your impatience to discover if you've guessed the villain's identity correctly. I bet you didn't think I'd write so soon. Or if the hero's sweetheart emerges from her coma. I miss you terribly. Something rises in your chest. I didn't think I would be so miserable. Something blind. I know I said that it was a good thing that you were leaving Denmark, but it's hard to be as sure when I miss you so much. To everything. At first I thought I regretted kissing and making love to you before you left because it made it a lot harder for me, but I just can't. I'm not sorry it happened. It was so wonderful. I wouldn't trade it for anything. But her words. All this probably sounds like I know exactly how I feel about you, but I don't. Sharp, throbbing aches. It feels like I'm in love with you, but I don't know if I would feel the same way if you were here, so all I know is that I miss you and I can't wait to hear back. Whittle down. I thought writing down my feelings would make me feel better, but it's made me even more sad, and that's probably because I have to think about how sad I am because you're not here. Your senses. I know it must be terrible to read how I'm wishing you were back after you left the country because of me. It's probably confusing too, but please don't be mad. It's even confusing to me. A sick laugh. I'll say it one more time to get it out, is a roar. I miss you, to a trance in any room. I know it's not the same as the real thing, but I'm sending lots of kisses and one really big hug. As quiet as this. Love from Kirsten. Love. She said love. And in that near-perfect moment your mobile chirps and you pounce with desperate expectation of further sweet proclamations of intent. Thanks for listening. Like, comment, subscribe. More tomorrow.